श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So we are seeing 24th shloka. He was referring to the Shruti te archir abhisambhavanti etc. And we saw that there, after explaining that, he says atra shrutyantara anusarat samvatsaranantaram devalokah devaloka devata tato vayu devata tatha aditya ityakare nirnitam. Akare nirnitam. In other text it is very clearly established that shrutyantara anurodha. From other text means in another shruti it is very clearly said what? Samvatsara anantaram. After the samvatsara he goes to devaloka. Devaloka devata takes care of him. After that he goes to Vayu Loka, where Vayu Loka devata takes care of him. Only after that he comes to the Aditya Loka. And here Samvatsarada Adityam Aditya Chandramasam. In this way he directly goes to the Aditya Loka. It's like this. If we are asked about the travel from here to Chennai, we will say from here Tirthamalai you have to go to Tirunamalai. From Tirunamalai you have to go to Dindivanam. From Tirunamalai Jinji Dindivanam. Now, the first instance I dropped the Jinji. I said Dindivanam. Now you cannot travel to Dindivanam any other way other than traveling through Jinji. So he says this is all understood. That is why Bhagavan didn't give it all importance. That is also said here. So iti nirnitam. Evam vidyulloka anantaram tadit loka, he said yesterday. Tadit loka. The tadit loka is the world of lightning. After vidyuto anantaram, after the vidyulloka, where the vidyut devata will take care of him, Varuna Indra Prajapatayah. There is Varuna Loka, there is Indra Loka, there is Prajapati Loka, where these particular deities will take care of him. Tavata Marga Parva Purti. And only after that he comes to the end of the travel. Tatra Archihi Ahaha Shukla Paksha Uttrayana Devataha Ihuktaha. See here the Archiraha etc. is the Devatas. We have already seen this. Samvatsaro Devalokaha Vayu Aditya Chandrama Vidyut Varuna Indra Prajapatischa iti Anuktaha api drashtavyaha. See, these words are very clearly said. These deities are very clearly expressed here. But the other deities which are not said here should also be included. It is this, there is this rule in Purimamam, in Vedanta also, it is said in the Vedanta and Brahma Sutra at the end of the thing. When we talk about some Vidyas, same name Vidya is seen in two different Shrutis. In one Shruti it is said in one form, and in another Shruti another form. So how should you perform this? Adhikasya adhikam phalam is the Purimimasa rule. Meaning you include more detail, the more the result. So whatever is not said in one can be added to the other and performed. So there is no issue here. So similarly here, whatever is not said here, those in between words also should be included. There is no trouble in accepting it. Tatra Devayana Marge Prayata Gachanti Brahma. So the people who travel through this Devayana Marga, this path of deity, they land in the Brahman. They reach the Brahman. They gain the Brahman. Oh, this is beautiful. By doing Upasana, I can go to the Brahman. If you think, he says, Karyupajikam, don't be stupid. This is not the Brahman which is attributeless, but this is attributed self. How do you know this? Karyam Badrihi Asya Gatyotehe. Badri Acharya accepts it to be Karya Brahman. Very clearly in Brahma Sutra, he says it. Because only there, the Gati is possible. In causal self, there is no movement. There is no going and coming. There is no travel possible. But here, in the effectual Brahman, there is all travel possible. Iti Nirupadikam tu Brahma tad dwara eva. Then will you not gain the Nirupadikam Brahman, the attributeless self? Oh, you will gain the attributeless self. Then fine. But only by gaining this, gaining this Archiradi Marga is not such easy thing. And even after gaining there is no guarantee of you gaining the liberation. Remember that. That is why Bhagavan Bhashyakara didn't give any importance to this Saguna Loka. Brahmavidaha, Saguna Brahma Upasakaha Janaha. Who are we talking about? The people who are the people who perform Upasana on the attribute itself, the different forms of Ishvara. How do you know this? How do you say there is no guarantee? It is said, Etena Pratipatyamanaha imam manavamartam navartante. The people who reach this world through this path, they don't come back. They don't return back. Imam, they don't return back. They don't return back. That means they will get realized there, isn't it? Iti shrutau imam iti visheshanat. There is an adjective of imam here in the Shruti. So what? Iti vishesha kalpantare kechit avartante iti pratipadyante. In another kalpa, some may come back. They may not come back in this cycle of creation, but they may come back in the next cycle of creation. They will be staying there along with the Brahman till that. This was said in the previous shloka at the end of 16th shloka. He said, Itaratra in the Tika and the commentary. Itaratra tesham ihana punaravrittihi imam mano mavartam navartante. Both are very clearly said. Na punaravrti, they don't come back, and again na avartante, they don't come back. Even after saying they don't come back, what he says in the commentary, iti iha imam iti. In these two shrutis, the term ima and iha iti visheshanat, there is an adjective of these two in these respective shrutis. Therefore, Gamana adhikarana kalpat anyatra punaravritti. Other than this kalpa, other than the kalpa which he is living in, he enters that Brahmaloka, he may be coming in another creation cycle. He may not come in this cycle, very cycle, but he may come back in the another cycle. That is why, whether it is here or in Brahmaloka, there is no choice other than gaining the knowledge. Only the knowledge can liberate you. Only the knowledge can liberate you. I am not talking about some motto of some country. I am talking about the self. Only knowledge can liberate you. Remember this. Devayana marga stutyartham pitruyana margam aha. Like he said earlier, to say that this Devayana marga is the superior one, he is started about explaining the Pitruyana Marga. Where? Dhumo Ratrir. Yesterday I read this along with the Devayana Marga. That is why he said, in the beginning itself he said, he declared, I am going to explain this Devayana Marga and also the Pitruyana Marga as a stuti. And that stuti is doing here. Dhumo Ratrishtata Krishna Shanmasa Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandramasam Yogi Jyotihi Yogi Prapya Nivartate. Dhumaha Ratrihi Tata Krishna Paksha Shanmasa Dakshinayanam. The equinox again. Tatra Chandramasam Jyotihi. Then Chandramasa. Then Jyoti, the light effulgent place. Yogi Prapya. After gaining these states, the yogi Nivartate. He comes back. So whether you understand this properly or not does not really matter. The only thing you have to understand is the other path. Other path means other than the knowledge. Whatever path, if you say there is a path, whatever path which is not knowledge path will take you back to the samsara. There is no choice. So, iti prapya nivartate. That is the only word you have to hold on to. He'll come back. So, if you take any other path other than knowledge, you will come back. You have to decide if you want to come back or not. Okay? Atrapi. Dhuma iti, dhuma vimanini devata. Here also, the same thing. When we say dhuma, it is not the smoke. It is the path of smoke which the deity which is associated with that path of smoke. Ratri means not night. Ratri Abhimanini Devata. The deity associated with that that kind of night time. Krishna iti, the waxing of moon, the waning of moon. That is a Krishna Paksha. That deity which is associated with that Paksha is said here. Shanmasa Dakshinayanam, the other 6 months. So Dakshinayanam months. So all this refer to the deity associated with those periods. Iti labhyate. Yetad api anya samshutyukta upalakshanam. This also is similar to the earlier one. See, we have not established all those places which you will encounter in your travel. There are other places which are left here in this, that was said in the Shruti. What are those other places? He is bringing the Shruti. The Shruti says, Te dhumam abhisambhavanti dhumatratrim ratrer aparabaksham aparabakshatyan chandakshineti masanstan yete samvatsaram abhisprapnuvanti masebhyah pitrulokam pitrulokadakasham Akasha Chandramasam Esha Somo Raja Tat Devanam Annam Tam Deva Bhakshayanti Tasmin Yavat Sampatam Ushitva Atha Etam Eva Adhvanam Punar Nivartante iti. So, Te Dhumam Abhisambhavanti. They take the path of Dhuma. And from the Dhuma, they come to the Ratri. These are all deities according to this commentary. Okay, they come to the Ratri, the night, the deity associated with the night. That is how you have to interpret here. Okay, from there they come to the waxing of moon Paksha, that deity, and which takes care of him. And then from there the Dakshinayana, and from there he goes to the Samvatsara, the other year, the counter year here. Abhiprapnuvanti. See, this Samvatsara and that Samvatsara are not meeting points. You come, meet, and you divulge again. And that's not how it is. This Samvatsara is different from that Samvatsara. Okay? This Samvatsara is associated this kind of path. This Samvatsara Devata is of this path. There can be 2 Krishnas, 2 Ramas. Similarly, these 2 Samvatsaras. Okay? So, Abhisambhanti, Abhiprapnuvanti. Then, Masebhyah Pitrulokam. From there, he reaches the Pitruloka. Then Pitruloka Akasham. From Pitruloka he reaches the Akashaloka. Akasha Chandramasam. From Akashaloka Chandramasam. Moon. The world of moon. The deity moon takes care of him. So Esha Somo Raja. The Soma is the Raja there. Tat Devana Mandam. That is the deity. The Soma is the deity for the food for the deities. Tam Deva Bhakshayanti. The Soma is what is eaten by the drunk or eaten by the Soma is a creeper. That is what is said there. So, Bhakshayanti, the deities eat them. Tasmin Yavat Sampatam Ushitva. In that place, Yavat Sampatam, till your karmas are there, you stay there. Ushitva, spend there. After spending, Atha Etam Yeva Dhvanam, you come to this very path. Punar Nivartanti, he comes back in the same path. The path he travelled, in the same path he will return back also. Tatra Dhuma Ratri Krishna Paksha Dakshinayana Devataha Yuktaha. So all the deities are said here. And what is not said here is Pitruloka Akasha Chandramasa Iti Anukta Api Drashtavyati. Pitruloka Akasha Chandramasa etc. are not said there. So that also should be included here. Tatra Taspin Pati, in this path Prayatas Chandramasam Jyotihi Phalam Yogi Karma Yogi Ishtapurta Tattakari Prapya. In this path, the person who travels, he will gain this Chandramasa Jyoti. That result, who is this yogi we are talking about? The Karma Yogi. Karma Yogi, who is Karma Yogi? A person. Karma Yogi means not a person who performs his karma and all that. That is a Karma Yogi also without result attachment. That is a Karma Yogi also. But here, a person who performs the Ishta, Purta, Datta karmas as specified in the Vedas. The rituals specified in the Vedas, those karmas. So that karma is one who performs them sampata mushitva, after gaining the spending his punya there, nivartate, he comes back. Sampatati aneneti sampatah, he falls into that place. That is what sampata, the earning. Only because if whatever you earned, you go reach there. That is the idea here. Karma tad devata tasmat etasmat avarti margat anavarti margah shreya. And conclusion is this is set for extolling the other. The technique of Shastra, whether he praises something or denounces something, they are not for the sake of praising or denouncing. It is to show the counter thing. If the Shastra denounces something, it is not to denounce that. It is to show the counter opposite thing, which is better than this. So here he says, tasmad etasmat avarti marga. From this avarti marga, the path of return, the path of no return is better. That is what is said here. Ukto margo upasamharti. So these two paths which were explained, that is concluded here. Shukla Krishne gati hyete jagata shashvate mate ekayayatyanavartim anyavartate punaha. Shukla Krishne gati, Shukla and Krishna, Shukla Krishne dvivachana, gati dvivachana, hyete, these two travel path are Shukla and Krishna, the white and black. Okay, jagataha shashvate mate, this is a common, this is a natural thing, this is always there. Shashvata, this is always there. Always there means either you will take the path of Shukla, the white Archir Marga, or the path of dark, which is the Dhuma Marga. There is no choice. The third one is traveling here. Samrityor mrityamapnoti yah ihananeva pashyati. When he will travel from death to death. That is the third, even without going to the other worlds. Iti shashvate mata. This is a common point. Ekaya yati anavarti. Through one path, he will reach the point of no return. And through the other path, anyaya, through the other path, avartate punah, he will come back again. Shukla archiradi gatir jnana prakashamayatvat. Shukla means archir path, the path of deity. Why? It leads you to knowledge. Therefore, Krishna dhumadi gatihi, the dhuma etc. path is Krishna path. Why it is said jnanahinatvam? Because there is no knowledge, it is devoid of knowledge. Therefore, tavamayatva, this is darkness. It is said as black, dark. Why? Because there is no knowledge. If there is no knowledge, that is dark, that is black, that is useless. Understand that. Te ete shukla krishne gati margau hi prasiddhe. So these two paths are very famous in Shruti and in the world. These are the two paths which are said there. Saguna vidya karmadhikarana. For what? For whom it is said? For people who perform the saguna upasana and people who perform the karmas. This is the fixed path. They cannot escape these two paths. Jagataha sarvasya api shastra janya. Shastrajnasya shashvate anadi mate. So whoever knows the Shastra, it is very clear. This is what is the common thing. This is anadi, this is eternal. This is accepted eternally. Samsarasya anaditva. How do you say eternally? Because this samsara is beginningless, so it is always there. This is the only two path which is there for Sagunopasaka and the karmis respectively always. Tayoho ekaya shuklaya yati anavartim kaschit anya krishnaya punaravartati sarvopi. So among this, through the white path, through the path of deities, some people return back. Some people don't return back. Kaschyati anavartim kaschit. Kaschit. Some people don't return back. It is not a guarantee that you will not return back. Some people don't return back. Anya, through the other path, the path of darkness, punaravartate sarvopi. All those who travel through that path, they will come back. There is no escape. Always. Gatehe upasyatvaya tad vijnanam stauti. See, this gati is something which has to be meditated upon. Should be seen very clearly. Therefore, for that, the knowledge of that path is extolled, praised here. Naite srute partha janan योगी मुह्यति कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तो भव अर्जुन न एते श्रुति हे पार्थ जानन्. Knowing this Shruti, this path, O Partha, knowing this path, yogi na muhyati kaschana. The yogi will not be deluded. Remember this word, muhyati, moha is delusion. Just keep it there. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Therefore, in all the periods of time, yoga yukto bhava Arjuna. Be endowed with yoga. O Arjuna, he is using two vocatives. He Partha, he Arjuna. Yete Sruti Marge, these are the two paths. He Partha, Janan. Partha, understanding this, Janan. Krama Mokshaya Eka Punaha Samsara Apraiti. You have to understand. One path is a Krama Mukti, leads you to liberation in order, in sequence. The other will take you back to the samsara again. Iti Nishchinman. Janan means knowing. Knowing means determining. Very clear, fixed. There should be no doubt regarding this. Yogi means dhyana nishtaha. This person who is meditating, the meditator, namuhyati, he does not become deluded. Deluded means this is not ko mohaka shokaha ekatvamanupashyate. This is not that no delusion state where one sees the non-dual self. This is not that delusion. He is not getting rid of that delusion. Then what? Kevalam karma dhumadi marga prapakam kartavyattvena na pratyeti. So he is determined, he is very clear that individually only karma cannot lead you to this path of no return. That is the idea. So iti kaschana kachidapi. So no one will take to the path of karma which leads you to the path of return, which is the dark path. Kaschana. Whoever understands it, they will not practice that. Tasma. Therefore, yogasya apnaravarti phalatvat. Because this yoga, this meditation is a meditation on deities, the upasana is a path of no return. Therefore, sarveshu kaleshu yoga yuktaha samahita chitto bhava. Apnaravarti, hey Arjuna. Okay, Arjuna, understand this. Always be endowed with this yoga. For what? For not returning back to the samsara. Therefore, have a poised mind, a mind with a tranquil mind, a mind with focus. Punaha Shraddha Vruddhyartham Yogam Stoti. Again, to cultivate Shraddha, faith, more faith in this, here Shraddha is more faith towards this, he is again extolling, praising this yoga. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanopeti cha adyam. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu cha eva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upeti cha adyam. Vedeshu in the Vedas, yajneshu in the yajnas, tapassu in the penances one practices, daneshu in the donations one gives, yet punya phalam pradishtam, that punya phala which is pradishta is a new word. So just drop the dishtam. Do you understand dishtam? Again, I don't understand dishtam. We have heard upadishtam, upasarga purvaka, dishtam is upadishtam, upadishtam upadesha. So upadesha is said in the in a different word pradishtam with different upasarga. Instead of upa, he is adding pra upasarga. Pradishtam. It is very nicely, beautifully said. Atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva. Tat sarvamidam viditva atyeti. He crosses beyond after knowing all this. Who? The yogi. The yogi crosses beyond all this and reaches where param sthanam peti, and he gains that absolute state. Cha adyam, the beginning, that which is the causal. Iti Shri Mahabharate Shatashastriyam Samhitayam Vaiyasikyam Bhishma Parvane Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Akshara Parabrahma Yogo Namastamodhyayah. We come to the 8th chapter. Tika. Vedeshu Darbha Pavitra Panitva Prangmukhatva Guru adhinattvadibihi samyak adhiteshu. Vedeshu, what is Veda? Veda is something which is studied directly from the Guru. And that needs some rules. Darbha, we have to hold on to Darbha, sit on the Darbha seat. Pavitra Panihi, hold on to something called Pavitra, a ring kind of. Okay. And Prang Katva, you have to face the direction of sunrise. Prang Katva, Guru Adhinatvadi, and study from the Guru properly. There are rules for studying these things. And that is why, see, people study. If they ask me, why don't you go on Skype and all that? I don't see, this itself is only for people who are not able to concentrate on the audio. For some people, they have to visually see things. So for them, I am putting this video. And Vedas now, why I am saying this is they have put online these Vedas and all. You can learn chanting and all through some YouTube channels. The problem is, this fellow will be smoking and then Agnimele, okay, Agnimele, and then he'll be drinking something. All these stupid things. You don't need to see all those things while teaching. Why waste your time and your focus there on all these things? So this is the best you can get here. Samyak adhiteshu. You have to study it properly again. It is not just, okay, he teaches me and it should be studied properly. That is the idea here. Yajneshu. Because yajna means, see, everything has its proper structure. You have to follow them in that proper structure. That is what is said. Yajna means, what is yajna? Anga upanga sahityena shraddhaya samyak anushthiteshu. You have to perform it with utter faith, complete faith, and not just that, along with all the limbs and its sublimbs. See, this is the anga. And in each anga, there can be subclasses. You have to follow all those rules completely with Shraddha. And tapassu, the penance which you do. What penance? Standing in the sun, standing in the rain, etc. All those idiotic ideas which arise in your brain, not that kind of tapassu. Tapassu means Shastroktesu, the tapas which is prescribed by the Shastra. Only then you will gain the knowledge. So, Manobuddhyadhyaihi ekagra rupena shraddhaya. So, that which keeps your mind focused. That kind of tapas we are talking about. Shraddhaya sutapteshu. And again here, you have to practice it with Shraddha. Daneshu. Daneshu means Tula Purushadishu Deshe Kale Patrecha Shraddhya. So dana, different kinds of dana is there. You can give whatever equivalent to your weight, etc. Those kind of danas, and that should be given at a particular place, at a particular time, at a particular for a particular person. These are all specific. There are specific rules for this. Everything cannot be given and need not be given to everyone. There are rules for all this. So then again, Shraddhaya Samyak Datteshu, it should be given with Shraddha. See, Shruti says, Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Deyam, Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Adeyam. You should have to give it with Shraddha and you should not give it without Shraddha. But again, some acharyas opine, Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Deyam, you should have to give whether you have Shraddha or you don't have Shraddha, there is no point. You have to give. You have to give, that is the rule, you have to follow that. Whether you have Shraddha or not does not really matter. Some opine like that. But you have to do it with Shraddha. That is the idea here. Punyas, yet punya phalam. So when you perform all this, you gain some punya phala. That punya phala is, because giving it with Shraddha is sattvika. Giving it without Shraddha is tamasika. It will be explained in the last chapter. So, yet punya phalam, that punya phala, that punya which you are going to gain, punya means punyasya dharmasya phalam. Punya means dharma. The result of dharma, not adharma. The result of dharma, that which is a swarga, swarajyadi. It can either be Swarga or Swarajya, your liberation. So all that pradishtam, that which is said in the said by whom? Shastrena pradishtam, that which is explained by the Shastra. How many times you see Shastra? Count it. So that is how important it is. So atyeti atikramati, he goes beyond, he crosses over. That sarvamidam. All these, he crosses beyond all this. पूर्वोक्त सप्त प्रश्न निरूपण द्वारेण उक्तम विदित्वा. How? By gaining by understanding clearly the answers that were given here for all those 7 questions, by explaining them vidva, by knowing it, samyak anusthana paryanta. Knowing means till you are capable of practicing it. You have to know till you are capable of practicing it. I know how to practice it. I know it clearly. Very good. What are you doing with it? I am not doing anything. That is not it. That is not how it should be. Anusthaya cha, you have to practice too. Just the knowledge of karmas are not enough. Just knowledge of the punyas are not enough. You have to practice those karmas and punyas. Yogi dhyana nishtha. This person, yogi means dhyana nishtha, a person who is a meditator, upasaka. Na kevalam tat adikramati, he does not just cross over, but then what? Param sarvotkristam aishwaram sthanam adyam sarvakaranopeti. He also gains the adyam, the sarvakaram, the cause for everything, the first, the primordial. He gains that. Pratipadyate sarvakaranam brahmaiva prapnoti. Meaning he gains that which is the absolute cause for everything. That Brahman, he will gain that. Tad anena adhyayena dheyatvena tat padartho vyakhyata. Tat padartha, the tad padartha, the implied meaning of tat is explained here with the sense of the something which has to be meditated upon. Iti Srimad Param Saparivrajakaacharya Shri Vishpeshwara Saraswati Shri Pada Shishya Shri Madhusudana Saraswati Virachitayam Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Gudartha Deepikayam Adhikari Bhedena Akshara Parabrahma Vivaranam Nama Ashtamodhyayah. So we come to the 8th chapter. We will see the 9th chapter. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.